Hey guys, welcome to Monday's session. So to get you warm, we're going to do 3 rounds of 30 seconds of cardio. So that could be skipping, running on the spot, high knees, butt kicks, etc. 10 shoulder rotations, grabbing a stick or a rope or a band or a towel or a jumper. 10 shrugs. So if you can, hold a weight, empty bar or a couple of kettlebells or 1 kettlebell or dumbbell and just get shrugs warmed up. 10 banded or light strict press. Okay, so if you've got a really light kettlebell, do 10 on one arm, 10 on the other. If you've got a band, 10 all together, and maybe empty barbell, 10 of those. And then 10 squats, but on the first and last rep, you'll do a 5-second hold in the bottom. So for squat number 1, get to the bottom, count to 5, and then do the rest of your squats as normal, and then get on the last one, another count to 5. Okay, so 3 times through that. Then, for the strength, you're going to do 6 rounds of 4. So we've got 2 options, so just bear with me. I'll go through the rep scheme, and then we'll talk about whether you've got kettlebell, dumbbell, or a bar. 4 hang snatch, 6 overhead squats, and then 8 overhead lunges. So here are our options. The first one I'll explain is if you're using a single arm item, so a single dumbbell or a single kettlebell. What you'll do is do your 4 hang snatch, your 6 overhead squat, and your 8 overhead lunges, all on the right side. And then you'll swap, and you'll do your 4 hang snatch, 6 overhead squats, 8 overhead lunges with the left, and that will be 1 round. Okay, so you're going to be doing that rep scheme on both arms to equal 1 round. If you're using a barbell, then it's just 1 time through, because we're looking at weights a little bit heavier, potentially 42 or 30, but you need to be able to scale that. I would say to be able to do, obviously, the hang snatch and the overhead squats. Overhead squats and overhead lunges, if the overhead position with the barbell or the kettlebell or dumbbell is not accessible to you, so you just can't move through that range of motion with that bar up overhead, okay, one way or the other, or maybe that's it, you can't squat, but you can lunge. For whichever movement you can't physically hold that bar up overhead, we'll bring it down into the front rack, but try to have it in the overhead position for the movements that you can. So maybe overhead squat's not accessible for you, but overhead lunge is. So do the overhead lunge, but not. And then bring it to a front rack for the squats. But the coach will help you tailor what's going to work for you in this. My brain just exploded in this strength cycle of movements. Anyway, when you've completed 1 round, then you're going to have a 90-second rest. And then you'll do the next round. So 6 rounds altogether, 90-second rest between rounds. After you've completed the strength, we're going to have just a little bit of a chipper, body weight chipper for time. And the movements are, so there's 100 wide mountain climbers. So normally the mountain climber, we bring the knees in and we keep them quite close. This time I want you to think about bringing the feet out to the side. Okay, so much wider, still trying to bring the knee up to the elbow, but bringing the knees wide and outside instead. So instead of here, we're going to be looking for here instead. Then you're going to do 80, so it's 100 of those, 80 air squats, 60 shoulder taps, okay, plank position, 40 sit-ups. You can make them weighted sit-ups if you'd like. Please remember with the sit-up, touch the floor above your head, sit up tall, and touch your feet or the floor by your feet. Then 30 of our squat thrusts. Now remember, the squat thrust is kind of like being stuck in the bottom of the burpee and not being able to come out of it. So in this position, "20 vertical jumps." That just means jumping as high as you can. And then 10 press-ups. For the press-up, please remember, no matter what variation we're doing, that we want our chest to hit the floor first. Okay, so chest, that's a negative. I can come up under the knees, but I want to really focus on staying nice and tight through that press-up. Next option would be to elevate yourself. Last option would be on the knees. But it's only 10, so you guys will be fine. Alrighty guys, so a nice thorough session today. Head to toe, some good strength work, and then a nice body weight chipper to finish you off. Have a good sesh.